If you have a passion for martial arts, you can make a profitable business out of it. Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer Waters and I am the Sales and Systems Sensei. And in today's video, I want to tell you how my passion for martial arts turned into a very profitable martial arts business and career for myself and for my family. So let's dig into it. First, if you have this passion for martial arts and you love it and you're just training in it every single day, you're just being very focused on martial arts technique, just understand that you can take that same amount of passion and you can redeploy it into learning how to do business. And if you learn how to do business the same way that you think about your own martial arts training, most of the time you can actually turn that business into a profitable business. But here's where people get this mixed up. And maybe you're in that situation, that was you. You were like, okay, I love teaching martial arts. People want to pay me for it. This is a good side hustle. And now you're like, good side hustle? But I'm doing so much work and I'm not really getting any benefit out of it. Maybe that's where you are right now. And I'm gonna tell you that the main difference between you getting out of this, like I'm in a side hustle, to I'm in a profitable martial arts business, is your information and the implementation of that information. So for example, if you're not learning new ways to sell, new ways to market, new ways to actually implement systems so that you can get past 100 students, you can go to 200, 300, etc. If you're not getting that information to you, then you'll never be able to grow. It's kind of like that person who only learns a few martial arts techniques. They only learn, just for punch and kick reference, they only learn how to punch with 2 punches and 3 kicks, and that's it. They don't know how to do anything else. They don't know blocks, they don't know counters, they don't know footwork, they don't know anything else. Well, that person's only gonna be as good as they can get at those few punches and kicks. And maybe that's you right now. You're really good at teaching the students that you have, but because you haven't learned any of those other things, you haven't learned how to move or block and counter, you haven't learned that there's a whole other style of martial arts that you could even get into, well, now you're only allowed to grow as much as the level of information that you have. That's why it's important when you make that switch that you start thinking about, okay, how can I increase the amount of information that I'm getting? How can I expand? Which is one of the reasons why I'm a firm believer in just reading as many leadership, business, entrepreneurial books that you can get your hands on, and then investing into coaching from business professionals that will help you get to that next level. It's huge because you just don't have the information. You can plan to implement it all day long, but if you don't have the right information, there's nowhere even to start. The next thing is implementation. So when you're thinking about, okay, I've got all this information now and I know what I'm supposed to do you just leave it there, or do you actually put a plan into place to slowly implement? And that's really the big difference, is that implementation factor of going, okay, I have the information, now I'm gonna execute on that. Honestly, people get stuck there. They got tons of information, they just don't know how to implement it. Or they got the information, but it was disjointed. They learned a little bit here, a little bit there, and they're trying to piece it together. Honestly, I feel like it's very much like those students that you might enroll into your school that learned from YouTube. They learned a little bit here, and they learned a little bit here, or they were thinking that they were gonna be able to do certain things, but when they actually went to fill in the gaps of those techniques that they were missing, they couldn't, because there were still gaps. They'd never been taught the proper way or from beginning to end. And that could be you right now. You could be like, oh, I went to this industry association thing and I went to this super event and I went and I did this thing and that thing. Well, cool. But have you had a sensei actually take you through step by step? And that's a big difference. So if you're really serious about implementing the information that you receive, seek out that sensei, seek out that person that's going to coach you on how to implement the things that you've been learning. And then finally, you've got information, you've got implementation, and then the last thing that you have to have is commitment. You have to commit to yourself that you're not just going to try it out. You know, I like that saying that Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. You just got to go and you've got to make a decision. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put all my energy, all my effort into this thing to make it a success. So if you're really trying to make that transition from this is just a passion that I have, a side gig, a side hustle, to this is a profitable martial arts business, you're going to need all 3 of those areas. Hey, listen, if you got a ton of value from this video, smash that like button and hit subscribe so that you're notified the next time a video drops. Until next time, keep being awesome.